All right.
Okay. Yummy, yeah. We representing hard for you tonight.
Right.
Welcome, everyone. You got the from in the comments and make sure you got your H2O in case you guys didn't know. Water is very powerful. I speak positive affirmations into my water every morning. Water is ancient. Water has an impeccable memory bank. It never forgets. So if you want something to come into fruition, speak it into your
There
water.
you go.
Hi, where are you from? Drop where you from in the comments.
I was having technical.
Now I can see you. A little dark later. Now I can see you.
Right. It was. I had technical difficulties going on. I was like, not right
Okay,
now.
it was given like Chucky, like a scary movie. So I'm glad you turned the light on. Welcome
You got to turn
everyone,
on the lights.
welcome to Carbon Conversations. So let's go ahead and deep dive in. For
Yes.
those of you
Yes.
that are
Yes.
new,
Yes.
welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I am Ashley Anye, an intuitive alchemist and energy reader, and I'm just here to help y'all heal. And we're healing with humor because laughter is the best medicine. Talk to them, B.
I'm B and what she said. No, no, Michelle. But no, but we are best friends. Like that's my girl, that's my sister. You know, okay, we've been tight since day one, literally since day one. Spirit has connected us together, and a little bit about myself, which is why we're connected, is that I'm just a catalyst for how spirit chooses to use me. So we like to come up here and we like to have fun. We like to make you laugh, but most of all, we like for you to get your healing, however that looks for you, whatever it looks like for you. So whether it's through the cards, whether it's through the conversation, we want you to get your healing at the end of the day. Yes, we are human. So we will have some bloopers here and there. However, we are genuinely coming from our hearts to deliver these messages to you. Yeah.
That's right. There will be bloopers, okay? We're not perfect, but y'all know what side of the bread the butter is on. At the end of the day, we gonna
Yes.
get it done. Get her done, and we gonna get it done accurately. So we never gonna feed y'all nothing that's not going to be so
Fruitful.
nourishing. Everything that we spit at y'all is going to be for the evolution of your soul, to evolve, to grow, to learn through love. So you know, I have to add, did you want to jump into the cards or go right into the conversation?
I did want to jump into the cards because I was meditating and spirit asked me to get these cards. Um,
Oh,
so I was like, okay. So I'm pulling them out now. There's one more I'm hearing. Two already just jumped out the deck, so I'm gonna start with those two. All right. So, because tonight's topic, we are dealing with workplace manipulation. So, I asked Spirit to reveal to me what are some of the things that some people are going against or coming up against in their jobs. Um, and so, I'm going to read to you all of the cards that came out. So the first one, I had to make sure they presentable. We know how YouTube and all the and Instagram and them work. So this is the first card that came out. And the keyword is addicted. It says the moon phase is the waxing crescent and the stage is depression. It's not about choosing the chains, it's about choosing them again and again. Um, ooh, yeah, this card's flipping all over the place. So, and I was going to say, so for some of you, a lot of your workplace problems is that you are addicted to your job, meaning you can't pull yourself away. So you're overworking yourself. Just off of this word, and before I even go any further, and it could be because like you're trying to get a bonus, or it's more so like you can enjoy your job, right? But you also have to put limits to your job. You have to do everything in moderation because too much of something will wear you down. And even if you're the person like, I just want to climb that ladder, I just want to do this, I just want to do that, I want them to see me, trust me, they're going to see you by your works. You expending multiple times, multiple hours at that job is not going to increase anything, right? And because some of the people have seen you be that go getter at the job, so to speak, they manipulate you in saying, hey, well, we got this position coming up. Why don't you do this work and let them see what type of skills so you can showcase your skills to upper management. Like they'll say something like that to kind of reel you in. That's because they know that you're willing and ready to jump in and get your hands dirty. And so when a job sees that, or a manager or a team lead, however your job is set up, and however your position is, what they will do is they will play off of that and continue to spoon feed you things so that you will continue to work over the time that you're supposed to. All right, so now I'm gonna read the rest of the card. The visual seed, a white sparkly hair over a scarred, melted, downcast face, is the hand melting or already long gone. A chain chokes his neck, and many spikes pierce the back. Sentence: freedom was the worst of lies. I could have been a slaver or a slave, but I choose the latter. Going dark. Addiction to something, to drugs, to love, to company, to evil, to pain, to safety, to making simple everything can be deep. Oh, they have in common the feeling of being lost. If we ever are without it, freedom is not a friend, as it promises responsibility, failure, challenges. Freedom can be taken, can be broken, can be stripped naked and whipped and abused. Slavery is a much cleaner choice. If you give it all away at the beginning, how can they take it from you? So, how can it be that it's so easy to believe that freedom is an illusion, and it's so hard to feel the slavery is an illusion as well? That the sky has a limit, but the chains have one as well. The irony of it all, when we lose the desire much before losing the will to fight, is that actually it's possible to reach for the sky even when bound by chains. So you feel that reading this card, I was getting several visuals. So one of the visuals is that, again, you feel like in order to climb the ladder, you have to do all of this extra work. And Spirit is like, you don't. But it's because, and I can say, growing up with an older parent, that was their form of teaching. You got to work, 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 because that's the only way that you're going to progress is work, 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 work. I literally had a great grandmother actually to pass away from overworking. Um, I used to say that the story was she came in and just dropped dead, but no, I found out later she was working. She came home. She started peeling potatoes to cook food for her family and just fell over. So again, it's that essence of extra work because especially if you have a family, you got to work with the family. Then, if you're on the job, you work for the job. If you have any extracurriculars that you do, you're doing some type of work, whether that's in the community or just in general purpose. If you are a religious person and you go to what my I heard mass, so if you go to mass, if you go to your temple and pray and you're active in that, you're working there. So when do you have time to rest? Right? When do you have time for spirit to pour back into you to rejuvenate? Right? And again, the more talents that you showcase to people, the more they will try to use you for your talent and try to drain you. And that is giving away your energy. And we talked about that last week about giving away your energy. So just wanted to point that out. And then the next card that came out, oh, that was number 11, by the way. This next card that came out is 13, and it's blind to pain. The moon phase is waning crescent as well. Stage is denial. Um, and so for some of you off of gate, without reading the rest of the card, what I'm picking up is that if you're blinded to the pain, some of it you don't even realize that people are draining you because they present these opportunities, they present this manipulation in a way where it's like, oh my gosh, I thought of you and I just wanted you to do this. Will you do it for me? And because they say it like this and because they have the wide eyes and they smile, you're just like, okay, great. Like, oh my gosh, out of all the people, they thought of me. Of course they did because they don't want to do it. That was something that was more than likely given to them and they're passing it along to you. And it's because it's like it's all about presentation, right? If I serve you, I was about to say something else and I said no, I'm going to change the words. If I serve you poo poo platter, and I'm not talking about the seafood, right? And I dressed it up and I put some almonds on it and covered up the smell some kind of way and put some nice garnish on it with some lemon juice and an orange slice on it. It's still poo poo. But because I've dressed it up so nicely, you're thinking, oh wow, they just handed me a plate full of protein or something. It's still poop, right? It's still people pulling your energy. So no matter how they dress it up, if they're pulling your energy, they're pulling your energy. So now I'm gonna read the rest of the card. The visual seed, flies pinned, not pinned, but ordered as bees, feeding off the neatly arranged blood. A woman's chest carved by a blade in a diamond pattern, full lips, the color of blood, a blindfold on whom the last fly lingers. Sentence, carving oneself for every stroke of whip and feeling so broken that it makes no difference to be whole. I do want to point out that these past that card 11 and 13 both talks about slavery. So for some of you, you are what I'm getting, it's the equivalent of being a house slave. You know that you are a slave, but you don't want to admit it because you have certain privileges that you do. So you're working and you're still doing all this work when you don't have to. You're slaving yourself out. You're giving yourself over. I can even what I just heard was that some of you are even working overtime, but you're not even getting paid for it. And you think that you're going to get paid for it in other ways, but no, your job is using you for free labor. So stop. Tell you right now, stop. Stop. Okay. Going dark. T.S. Eliot said, a fly that lives a single day has lived as long as we. Yet we accept the passage of time like it didn't matter, like we don't matter. Every day, a single line is added to the pattern, a single fly is added to the wall. We take one more responsibility, we take a little more abuse, we shoulder a little more pain, we smile in front of a little more insolence. We close our eyes to our wounds. We think we can endure it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, we say to ourselves. Like men, because it's manly to endure and be strong. Like women, because it's feminine to endure and be strong. Like humans, because the care and gentleness we feel is precious to others and we don't dare to actually claim for ourselves. After all, we can do it. But it actually hurts. It's painful. Tears are better than feeding flies with our own blood. We can scream and say no, or endure nevertheless, but remembering that we are just humans, neither heroes nor saints. So, the last part of that card, I do want to express to you you are just a human. You are not Superman. You are not Superwoman. You can't carry it all. You can't do it all. Rest because there's only one you. And especially if you have a family to go home to and a child to go home to, that child wants to see their parent energized, not drained, right? And so you go by doing what you can when you at the time allotted. Anything outside of that, we will finish this in the morning. I know that we have a deadline, but hey, things are not working out and I have a home to get to. I have a family to get to. Learn how to put up those boundaries for your jobs, because if you don't, they will cross those boundaries every single time. And there's a saying that people say, and it struck me one day because I used to work, and overwork myself to the point I was burning out like almost all the time. And older friend of mine said, Brian, that's my government. Don't tell nobody. They was like, stop working so much, because if you were to die, all they're gonna do is send your family some flowers, maybe a card, and then hire somebody else to do the same job. They don't care about you that much, right? And he said, and that's if they send the flower and the cards. That's if. Because remember, there is a totem pole system. A lot of people don't want to talk about the pyramid scheme of jobs, but baby, that's the biggest pyramid scheme ever if you work for a corporation. Because you got somebody at the top and you have all the people at the bottom. And depending on where you are at the bottom, you may or may not get a card from your family. Your work friends will miss you, right? And talk about you. But everybody else is like, oh, for real? I didn't know that person. Well, I hope their family is okay. I'll say a little prayer. That's if they say the prayer, right? You never know. So the next cards. Ooh, excuse me. Almost sneezed there. Uh I almost said verse 16. Is somebody reading? I almost said verse 16 like I was reading a Bible. Like I was like, wait, what's going on? Okay. Black. And so the last two cards are actually side by side. So, but they came 16 and 15. So I'm going to read it as such. So 16, making sure I can show it, is this. And it says black flower fragrance. Full moon phase is full. Stage is anger. The world is unfair. Fuck off, dear world. Fuck you. So I'm reading the cards here. So, visual seed, a beautiful woman, her face with a hint of resolve, holds a strange black rose on her chest. It seems to explode like a crystal, each petal an obsidian shard. Sentence, if we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. Going dark, love is not a white dove, nor it turns people into angels. Love can be ugly, love can be cheap, love can be rotten. But even ugly love has a right to exist. Even cheap love can raise to the sky. Even rotten love has the dignity of eternity. Even a black rose by any other name should still smell as sweet. Even if you are wrong, you still have the right to be angry. Even if you're not perfect, you have the right to be respected. Even if you are stupid, you have the right to be listened to. Even if you are lucky, you have the right to complain. Even if you are rich, you have the right to be sad. If you cannot shine because you're beautiful, then shine even if you are ugly. Shine because you are ugly, gorgeously black, ugly as love, worn out as an angel, cheap as a crown, unconquered as a fragrance in the night. And so, yep. So, what it's saying is no matter what, be authentically you at your workspace. No matter how many times you get dinged, and sometimes people have, um, when we come to workplaces, sometimes people cannot like you just simply because you are who you are. My sis here has this beautiful honey blonde hair. Listen, and it's popping against that beautiful glowing skin. But even that, somebody will hate on her and say, "Oh, why she had to wear that? That's so distracting. Why does she have that bun on her head?" Okay, and go to management, go to HR, and say, "Hey, she's coming in. She's distracting. She wears all these loud colors. She come in and people are like, okay, but." That's her expression. Yeah, but it's getting in the way of our meetings, like say you had a meeting with a very conservative person, and Ashley comes in wearing that, and the conservative person's like, oh my gosh, she's showing too much skin. So what the person would do is take that comment and make it so much bigger than what it is. Said, oh, she came inappropriately dressed. She had on some very loud colors. I don't mind a woman who changes her hair, but she was just had this hair, like she was so unprofessional because it wasn't business-esque. It was like she wanted to be a supermodel or something. It was, and so now the HR and the leadership team is thinking that you came in looking like I would say, I was about to say Charlie's Angel. What is that? A Victoria's Secret model. They will say, swear up and down that Ashley came in wearing nothing but a bra and some panties and some heels with angel wings on, because that's the picture that this person have painted. And that's what people do on our jobs. They don't like something about you, and they will take something, a little something, and make it so much bigger, or they would take something and twist it. And and you have to feel valued. If you do not feel valued at your job, and you know that they have been manipulating, I would even say gaslighting you. They will gaslight you and make it seem like you are doing something wrong and you are not. And gaslighting is a form of manipulation, just FYI. And so, and because they do that, you decide that you're going to start changing a few things about yourself when you didn't need to change them. And next thing you know, when you go through so much changes, you water yourself down to now you're not even recognizable to yourself and your friends. And everybody else is like, what happened to you? Like you never used to be that person. Personal story, not work related, but still is the same. I had a conversation once, and a lot of people used to say, oh, you're mean. How you come across to people is so mean. And I'm like, mean? Me? How? I don't give a person a chance to pull the wool over my eyes. No. As soon as you tell me a lie, I shut it down. And so I said, okay, well, fine. I'm going to listen to you all. I'm going to stop being mean. And the minute I did, that's when a lot of people started taking advantage of me. And so what I had to remember when I finally came to, and I was like, how did I get here? How did I get to the place where I'm allowing people to do things to me? And I never, like, I had to really sit and I thought about it. I said, oh, when people were saying that I was too mean because I was putting up boundaries, and I decided to put down my boundaries, this is what happened. I said, oh, no, 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 baby. We're going to pick this back up. And it's going to block who it needs to block. And it serves as a filtering cage, because it's going to filter the people that need to come in my life will be filtered in, and those that don't need to will stay and remain outside of, my gate. Okay. So that's the importance of boundaries, because even in the workplace, you can say, hey, if this person has something wrong and against me, that is their issue. And I'm going to always show up how I need to show up. It also goes along with representation matters. I'm hearing that too, because so if you're the only Black, Hispanic, Asian person in your office, and they're also making slurs, and because you're doing things traditionally, continue to do it. I don't care how many times people get offended, continue to do it, because that is you. You don't have a problem when they come in with their stuff, right? You don't have a problem when they have their whatever traditions your office do, and everybody's like, oh, okay. It's fine, right? It's fine for them. But when you do something, somebody has a problem, continue to do it. Continue to do it. Continue to show up authentically and watch. I'm hearing this loud and clear. There is somebody here is Asian, and I'm hearing that you are struggling with this right now, but your ancestors are saying continue to do it, because baby, we are there. Every time you light that incense, we come and we surround you. So I don't know who that's for because I'm seeing it plain as day, and it's like I'm seeing a jaded green, like a jade. Well, I would say jade. I don't know if it is jade, but it's a green dragon that you use for incense, and your ancestors are like, we come every time you light it. So I don't know if you're watching now, if you watch it in the future, if you which channel you're on, continue to light it because that is for you, that your ancestors are surrounding you. And even if you have to leave that space, right, to find a place where you can be authentically you without problems, continue to do it anyway because that gives you peace. I'm hearing it's like as soon as you light it, it's like all your anxiety goes down. It's like you can breathe. I'm seeing it plain as day. Um, did I finish? I did finish reading. And again, this stage is in anger. So for many of you who are feeling these ways, these type of ways that I just explained, you're getting angry. And you rightfully so angry, right? It's not angry just because people will play on your minds again. They will gaslight you and make it seem like you are the problem when you're not the problem. Get everything in writing. If they want to have a phone conversation, if they want to have a Zoom, if they want to have a Teams, if they want to have a Slack, baby, can we record this meeting? Can we record this meeting? And if they stop, I don't think that's necessary. Okay, well, I don't think we can meet until we can have this meeting recorded because I need it for me. Right? Job security.
To be part of a union because when you have a union backing you, you have a whole force behind you. That's why I always appreciated working for companies that had unions. A lot of people don't like, a lot of management don't like unions because unions challenge management to be on their P's and Q's. But if you have a strong, solid union behind you, they can't just fire you for no frivolous stuff. They have to have an actual reason and prove why you were deemed a delinquent at working.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Love unions. They always protect their people. I've always respected unions.
Exactly. So they do more than just push up wages and other things and advocate for more family time and stuff like that. They advocate for you at the ground level because they know that jobs will manipulate you if you allow them to. That's why they were put into place.
Exactly. That's the whole reason why unions were born into humanity because someone got manipulated and someone said, you know what, I'm not taking this no more. I'm not laying down. I ain't staying down. I'm going to create a union. And this is where unions were born. From being manipulated.
From being manipulated.
And you know, the story you told me about being manipulated at work, that just reminded me, you can lose yourself at work, little by little, piece by piece. And it reminded me of a story. I don't know what court case stemmed from it, but where they were talking about how natural hair was deemed unruly for the professional workplace and how they tried to reprimand various people simply for having natural hair, for going to work with the hair that they were born with. They tried to deem them deemed their hairstyle unprofessional and unruly. And you know, once you are indoctrinated into believing that your hair is not professional, it's unruly, it's not workplace appropriate, that will strip pieces of your confidence, pieces of your personality, pieces of your essence. And you'll start to think, you know what, I need to get a perm. You know what, maybe I should invest in a wig instead of rocking your natural roots, instead of rocking what you were born with. So you have to be careful because someone else who may not be as educated or in tune with your heritage may make you feel like your hair is not you or your hair is not appropriate for the workplace. So you have to know yourself, know thyself, which is why understanding, and overstanding who you are is so helpful.
It is.
It's so helpful. So I just wanted to say that because That reminded me when that happened. I believe it happened to a black lady where they were like, "Your hair is unruly." She's like, "Well, how do you want me to make it professional? I was born with kinky hair." She was coming to work with kinky hair.
Right.
And they were just like, "No, you can't wear that anymore." Well, I don't know what to tell you. This is my hair. This is my hair texture. So
right. And I was
anyway.
no, I was gonna no, I was gonna say as you were saying that, it also reminded me of the many children of many black children at school who were deemed for their cornrows, for their braids. One little girl had, I think she had color in her hair, and they sent her home because it was too distracting. But yet, when one of the Caucasian children came to school with their hair colored, it was, oh, that's so creative. Look how creative that was. Look, everybody, look at the hair. And they're like, okay, now that was a distraction. And you made it even worse because you pointed it out to everybody. You know, so it's like, it's that same thing, like how people will manipulate you and really, and I must say this, manipulation is control. A lot of us saying we will never allow somebody to control us. Well, if you go into a job and you're overextending yourself and you're not getting the accolades that you're supposed to, you are being controlled by people in your job. And if you're not allowing them to control you, you end up angry because they're trying to push you out the door. Why? Because you are one that cannot be controlled. Think about it. I don't know why, and I never use this. I never use this, but what I'm getting is just like, oh my gosh, now I can't think of the name of the movie. Okay, Ash, you're gonna have to help me. With Neo. No. It's The Matrix. There we go. The Matrix. The Matrix. Thank you, Spirit. So what I got was, as I was speaking, I just saw a flash of the Matrix. Some of you all, they play you just like when the person is awoke out of the Matrix. You know how all of a sudden the men in the suits was chasing them. It's almost as if when they can't control you to conform to make you also wear the black suit and you're individualist, they literally chase you out. Many people who have left your job before left because they were chased out because they did not conform to the culture of everybody else. They were their individual selves. And that is what happens to a lot of people, especially in corporate America. That's why I said people can like you for the most randomest things and they get away with it because they make it seem like you're not doing your job. They make it seem like you're being unprofessional. And those are far from the truth, especially to those that know you authentically. That's why I say you have to be yourself authentically. Let people get a chance to see you and know you authentically so that when someone lies about you, they can say, nah, 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 that is not that person. I know them specifically and they would have done X, Y, and Z. That's why I tell people, that's why I have a hard, I know we're talking about jobs, but this is why I have a hard time with people within the dating world who try to paint a picture of who they are not. No, show the person who you are authentically so that they can know you from your front to your back, right? So if anybody ever try to lie on you and say, oh, well, you know, this person was cheating on you and I saw them do, well, no, because I know my person wouldn't cheat on me, but I know that they would help someone. And this is the situation because why? They've already called me about it. So why are you trying to spread gossip about my person? I already know. And that's the similar thing to how some of the jobs work. You may know someone higher up. And then when this person who don't know that who you know mentions your name and says, oh, well, this person was dot, 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 and this person was dot, 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 that person's like, oh, really? Do go on. I want to find out more. And they have your back and may not say anything to that person right then, but they will tell the other people in the leadership team that person's lying on this person because I know that person directly. I know this person would have handled this differently. So investigate a little more. And when they investigate, the truth comes out. So that's why I tell people show up authentically. If everybody has the same notes for you, then baby, the minute that somebody has a note that's different, they're going to look at them like, well, where'd you come from? Well, what did you do? Right? Okay, now let me get to the last card. Masquerade.
Okay.
And it's number 15. The moon fane is waning gibbous. Stage is bargain. What I can't have forever, I will have for a minute. What I can't have for a minute, I will hold to me for 1 second. The visual seed. A man's face, young in the flesh and in posture, with a wide open shirt. Over him appears the most complicated and baroque hat, straight from a Venetian carnival. Sentence. Under the guise of Cupid, I will come to you. Under the guise of a thief, I will fly away. Going dark. There's often guilt taking the mask of Don Juan or Don Juana. The seducer is not a master of love, neither of manipulation. He is the master of ephemeral, of what is fleeting and brief and transient to the extreme. He is the master of the moment, and as such, he forgot all other kind of eternity. There is guilt if you care because you are not building. There is guilt of loss because you are not treasuring. There is guilt out of indifference because when you don't care, you cheat yourself of meaning and value. Sometimes there is guilt in the selflessness, in the desire itself, in everything leading to pleasure, as if the only pleasure that can be sacred are only those labeled as such. The masquerade is a dance. It is a road that goes in circles and ebbs and flows and always ends with the first light. Before the time comes, hold it tightly. When the time comes, let it go. So, as I was reading, I got two things. That is for two types of working individuals. The first individual is the individual who is very passive. You know that your job is mistreating you, but you don't say anything. You're just like, well, I'm just going to do. And it's like you are conforming without fully committing to the confirmation, right? So, in other words, say, like, they say, okay, well, everybody must wear black and white in the office. If you come in this office, you have to wear black and white and black and white only. And so you're just like, why are you controlling things? And okay, well, I'll wear black and white, and you wear the black and white, and then all of a sudden you notice that a few other people are not wearing black or white. Nothing gets done to them. So you're like, okay, well, maybe they changed the policy a little bit. So you come in and you wear a polo, and maybe it's like a blue polo, and you wear some gray slacks. And then they're like, we're gonna dock you because you came out of line. And you're just like, oh well, I saw other people do it, so I just assumed that we were Alexa. Well, no, we're gonna dock you. And instead of you fighting or going against it, you're just like, okay, I know for the next time. And you commit, and it's like you get into that childlike state. It's like you don't want to trouble the waters, but spirit is like, no, when you don't trouble the waters like that, what you're doing is you're putting on a masquerade and you're watering yourself out. You're conforming without fully conforming because you know it's wrong, but you don't do anything. And so you know you're being mistreated and you don't say anything about it because you don't want to get anybody in trouble, because you don't want to trouble the waters. And its spirit is like, so you're just going to endure all of this until when? To when they kick you out. And now you're going to be bitter because now you're not going to have a job. And you had this job to basically run over you while you were there. Don't continue that. The second is some of you are holding on to the job when you know the job. You know the job is using you. You know the job is not good for you. You know the job. You get a headache thinking about the job. Not even going to, but just thinking about the job. You instantly get a headache. You have all these things going against you and you refuse to leave. Why? Why? Spirit is saying leave the job. So for some of you, it's time for you to leave. Yes, I know we sometimes say I have to find another job before I leave. Sometimes you got to activate your faith and leave that job and watch another door open for you. Sometimes spirits say, I'm going to see if you're going to trust me enough to let this thing go so that I can give you something better. And if you don't, then eventually, as the cards say, when the time comes, let it go. Because for some of you, when the time comes, it's going to be the time when they're saying, hey, here's your walking papers. Thank you for your service. And so now you being involuntarily removed out of the job. And so now you still have no job and then watch the job come in. But I guarantee if you leave on your own terms, you're going to feel much better. You're going to feel much better and you won't have have you ever been fired from a job or released from a job? Yes. You won't have to say that because that is going to look like you did something wrong. That's another thing that's on your record, whether or not you say it or not. But if you've been working for a company for 5+ years and then all of a sudden you just say, oh, well, I just decided to leave. And then they're like, well, can we use anybody from your job as a reference? You've been with a job for 5 years and you left the job, but we can't use anybody there as a reference. That's going to be like a little flag on you. So just leave. And you may have a good duty that you can write, right? You may have somebody in another department that can and will write up for you, but you still don't want to have that ding on you, right? So those are the two things that I got from that card. And basically looking at the card again, what I'm hearing is that some of you feel like you're too old to leave the job. And Spirit is like, no, you were young. You're still young. Old according to who? You have enough time to leave. I even just heard you even have enough time to rebuild your career and start another career. So take it. Won't he do it? I'm done. I'm sorry, that went way over than expected, but I'm done.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna sing the Aaliyah song. Age ain't nothing but a number. I think we try to keep up with the Joneses too much, and we don't realize that it's about keeping up with ourselves, with our own evolution, with our own standards, our own timestamps. Like you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. You're not a failure if you don't find yourself by age 30.
Right.
Your success is measured by how far you're willing to make that rule, make that measurement go into effect. Don't ever think that your standards are judged based on Instagram or based on reality shows. You are the captain of your fate. Is that how they say it?
Mm-hmm.
You control your own destiny. You control your own destiny. And that made me think of also nepotism. Like, don't think that that's excluded in the workplace. Sometimes you may be excluded because they feel like, oh, well, that's, so-and-so's son. That's the boss's son. So we got to treat them any kind of way, or we got to give them extra work. Like, you could be treated differently simply because they feel like you have the up and up on them. Like, you have the upper hand. Manipulation has no, what's that word I'm looking for? Has no boundaries. Okay?
Yes,
you can be manipulated because your boss is your dad, or because you got hired simply because you knew so-and-so. Like, it has no boundaries. So just keep that in mind. Anyone can be manipulated. Now, let's start off by explaining what exactly manipulation is so you guys know. So essentially, it's when someone in your workplace or environment uses deceit, pressure, or covert tactics to control your behavior for their own benefit. Okay, this can be emotional, mental, or psychological. And when it's psychological, sometimes it's hard to pinpoint, because when someone is psychologically manipulating you, they do it in a way to where you don't even know that you're being manipulated. That's why it's good for you guys to know exactly what to look for when you're being manipulated. Now, this could be a colleague who constantly tries to undermine your efforts, or a boss who gaslights you into questioning your abilities, or even someone who takes credit for your hard work. And this has happened to a lot of people that I know. They have gone above and beyond to complete something, and someone else took the credit for it. So that is also a form of workplace manipulation. So let's talk about the key signs you can spot before it gets out of hand. Backhanded compliments. I know y'all know about this. Does someone give you, and please excuse me, it's not funny, but I have to laugh at it because I know someone who gives backhanded compliments, who means no good, but they'll give a backhanded compliment just to come off like they like you. And I don't like people like that, because it's like, if you don't like me, then say you don't like me, or don't come around me. But when you give a backhanded compliment, then I know you don't like me and you're around me just to see what I have going on. And that's even worse. Then be the worst kind of people who you know don't like you, but they're still sticking around you. It's like, buzz off, kick rocks, beat it. Okay, so does someone give you praise, but it always comes with a subtle dig? Like, you did a great job on that project for someone with your experience. Like, excuse you? Someone with my experience, yeah, that's a backhanded compliment. That's a backhanded compliment. Or when you know that they did something, but they constantly blame you for it. That's manipulation. They did something, but they're blaming you for it. That's manipulation. So that's another sign to look out for. Backhanded compliments, gaslighting. We talked about that. I'll just quickly go over that. This is the most common tactic. If someone is trying to make you question your memory, oh my God, I detest this. When someone is basically telling you, no, that's not how it happened. This is what happened. Oh my God, that just irks every atom in my body.
Record everything. Get it in writing.
I'm sorry. Flashbacks. Okay. Trigger. Okay.
Trigger warning.
If someone is trying to make you question your memory, perception, or even sanity, okay, it's a red flag. For example, they may say something like, I never said that. I never did that.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen that way. That's when you know that they are constantly trying to manipulate you, or they're trying to get you to agree to something out of guilt, trying to make you feel like, okay, well, you're going to feel this way because I'm telling you what you did, not necessarily what really happened. That's manipulation. Withholding information is another form of workplace manipulation. So if you feel like that you're left out of an important conversation, like say all your colleagues are having like a team meeting and they purposely leave you out of it. So no one lied, no one gaslit you, but you're purposely being left out of a meeting. That's manipulation, because they're withholding information from you. They're trying to exclude you out of the loop. That's manipulation. And it's a manipulative power play. And people do this to have one up on you. So stay woke. Guilt tripping or shaming. So manipulative enough to make you feel bad for setting boundaries, like B said, or for saying no. They might say things like, well, I thought you were a team player. I thought you were down for the cause. Or I thought you wanted to make money. Like, you're really trying to make you question, well, yeah, I do want to make money. Well, I am down for the team. Well, I am a team player. So they're trying to use reverse psychology on you to make you feel like you're not being a team player. That's another form of manipulation. Guys, stay motherfucking woke. Last but certainly not least, excessive flattery followed by a request. So this is manipulation wrapped like in a sweet package. So if a colleague or manager praises you on something, like, oh, you did a great job on that project, great work, you know, keep up the good work. And then it's immediately followed by them asking you to do extra work that you weren't even aware of that was due, or extra work that should have been completed by someone else. That's manipulation. Or they're trying to get you to do it out of obligation. That's not your job. That's not your job title. This is why it's important for you guys to know exactly what your job title is. When you apply for a job, you need to highlight and eliminate what your job title is so that you know what your duties are, what is expected of you, and what you need to contribute to the growth of the company, to cultivate the company and cultivate your career. Because 9 times out of 10, if they feel like they need to save money or they want to put more on your plate, guess what? They will. So you need to know what you signed up for prior to them giving Sally Mae work. Okay? Sally too. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I've seen it happen. A lot of people, they've had to stay after work 5, 6, 7 hours because they were bullied into completing someone else's job. That's not my job. That's not my job title. Those are not my duties. Off, okay? Now don't say that, but I'm just saying that's not my project.
Right.
That's why I work for myself, because I have no filter. I have no filter.
Listen.
All right, so how to protect yourself. So now that we've identified all the signs, let's talk about how to protect yourself. So since manipulation can be hard to handle, there are several steps you can take to create boundaries and gain control. Document everything, like Magoon said. Take a picture, write it down. Videotape it if that's legal in your state, because some states you can't videotape without someone's consent. So check your state laws. Yes, always make sure everything is documented. This can be crucial if you need to escalate an issue to HR or management, because they're going to ask you, well, how do you know? What's your proof? And if you come in there empty-handed, chances are they're going to show you the door, because it's your word against Barbara or against Helen or against whoever. Okay,
and
so
go.
you need to make your evidence. Come with your tea, okay? Come with everything documented, because sometimes people will lie. And sometimes it's going to be your word against theirs. So make sure you have your documents.
And go to your compliance office too. That will help.
Exactly. Yes, go to your compliance officer as well. So Magoon touched on boundaries. I'll go ahead and bypass that. Trusting your instincts is so important, guys. Trust yourself. If something feels off, usually it is. Trust your gut. Often we ignore our inner voice to please things that are outside of us, but you have to trust yourself and know that you have your best interest first and foremost. So definitely keep that mindset that, you know, when you feel something, that's usually spirit trying to let you know something's not right, and that should be your first line of defense against manipulation, knowing yourself. That's why it's so important to know yourself. I wouldn't do something like that. Why are they trying to make me seem like I'm not a team player? I am a team player. I've always been a team player. You see, you know yourself. So you know that you are a team player. So nobody can tell you that you're not a team player or try to manipulate you into thinking that you're not a team player. You see, knowing yourself makes you 10 steps ahead of the game. All right. Last but not least, seek support. Whether it's a mentor, HR, or trusted colleague, don't be afraid to seek advice or help. A lot of people are proud or too independent to seek out other sources, but this can also be helpful if they need you to call in a witness. Well, you know, so-and-so witnessed it. I confided in so-and-so, and they, my witness can attest to everything that I'm saying, okay? Like, it's okay to confide in someone, I'm telling you. And also, it also keeps like a paper trail. Okay, well, I told HR in September, and this problem still persists, and it's now January of next year. Like, now they have a paper trail of what's been going on, okay? So definitely stay in the loop with someone, either in management or a trusted friend, sometimes just getting a second opinion can also help clarify what's going on and what's being done to you in the workplace. So yes, that is all I have, guys. Manipulation is incredibly draining, but with these steps, you guys will be one step ahead of the game, because trust and believe, if you don't stop and build your own dream, you will look at yourself and 20 years have gone by and you have helped someone else build theirs.
Exactly.
Okay, so build yourself up first. Build yourself up first so that you can pour into other people. This is why Magoon was so adamant about not working all of these extra shifts, because what do you have left to give yourself? Like the mama from Baby Boy said, if you don't have it to give yourself, how you gonna have it to give to your baby and to your man?
Exactly.
How you gonna have it to give to your kids? So here you are working all of these shifts, putting in all of this extra elbow grease, OT. Yeah, that check gonna look nice at the end. The money gonna come in handy for Christmas time. But then what do you have left to give to everyone? What do you have left to give to your kids? Because they need you. What do you have left to give to your man or your woman? They need you. So always make sure that you are consistently filling yourself up. Make sure that you're conscientious of how much energy you're putting into this job. I worked an audit for 10 years. This is a story. I worked an audit for 10 years, and it was overnight. And you know, when you work overnight, it's like, the witching hour. But studies have shown that when you work overnight, statistically, it takes years off of your life. And I was conscientious of that. I knew that when I signed up for the job, but the money was just so good, I couldn't pass up on it. Long story short, I ended up quitting. After COVID, I quit that job. I quit it because I found myself coming home, getting off work at 5:30 a.m., getting my kids ready, sleeping while they were in school. Once they came home from school, I was up maybe for a few hours with them, and then I was dropping them off again to the sitter. So it was like I rarely ever got time to spend with my children because I was sleeping during the day because I had to work at night. I was literally a vampire. I'm talking vamp-like. But it wasn't a thing that I couldn't buy. Like, that's how great the money was.
See?
And every week I was paid. Every week it was a check being deposited. But then I had to ask myself, like, is this worth my health? Is this worth my sanity? Is this worth my entire life? Like, I'm literally sleeping when everyone else is out. And then at night, I'm up. Everybody like, girl, where you coming me at? 2, 3 a.m. Girl, you should be up. It's lit. It's 2 a.m. It's lit and everybody sleep. But it was lit for me because I worked overnight. So anyways, I said all that thing.
I said I was laughing because I will remember, because a long time ago, I want to say it's 50 Cent, because he got that money. I love New York, or something like that. And that used to be your song. And so when you was just talking, I could see you going, money. I love New York, right?
I love that. I love New York. I get money.
Right. Yeah.
I get money.
I mean, but it's true.
It is true. Hey.
Hi.
So,
hi, Maya.
Don't worry, don't fret. We're gonna save the life, and you have come to us at the time where we are giving the floor up to you guys. If we have a brave soul that wants to come forward and ask Magoon a question, anything, lifestyle, love, family,
work,
anything. Now is your time. It's your time to shine. So do we have a brave soul? While you guys are thinking of your question, I have to say, this really helped me. This was therapeutic for me, this episode.
Oh, wow.
It really was. I'm no longer in an actual corporate environment. It brought back memories of when I used to see other people, including myself, be manipulated.
Yep.
So I'm like, damn, like, still going on?
It is.
It's crazy.
And I will be right back. Oh no, we have the recording. Definitely watch the recording. So yeah, I'll be right back. I need to get something.
Don't be upset. So, yeah, we're gonna say, don't be upset. We save every live. This is episode 36, and even though you missed, you can catch the replay, my love. No worries at all. Now, does anybody have a question that they would like to ask Bagoon? Speak now or forever hold your peace. We do this every Tuesday where we give you guys a chance to have the floor to ask any question for Bagoon. Any question. If you guys are okay with sharing your business, okay, my love, drop your question in the comments. When Bagoon gets back, he'll answer it. So go ahead and drop your question in the comments. And thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. We know it's late. That's why we always save the lives. Like I said last week, 40 minutes of Cards and Conversations is like 4 years of college. Like literally when I'm in these lives with you guys on this platform, it's so healing for me. You guys have no idea. Like you think that I'm just like talking just to be talking half the time I do. But it is healing for me. So go ahead with your question.
She wrote her question down. I'm going to answer it, but I'm going to ask Spirit to Maya, for Maya's, I'm going to ask Maya's ancestors to come to me right now. Provide a message about her intuition that you would like for me to share with Maya. Provide me an information for Maya to understand her intuition. What is something that you want us to know? I will say, oh wow, okay. I'm gonna put it like this because of how they feel. Off gate, you should always listen and trust your intuition. Um, because even if it hurts them, that's still a boundary for you. That's a boundary for you. And that is nature's and spirit's way of letting you know what you like, what you don't like, and how to handle those situations. Um, Even if it is I'm hearing detrimental to your sanity. I don't know what that means for you, but maybe you do. I'm hearing like, okay, I'm hearing to walk down that hall anyway. Because even if it's something that you have to leave behind, that means you're going to leave something behind to go to something new. Um, if it's something that's going to save someone's life, so if it's say you have to you want to tell somebody something, but you're like, I don't know if I should say it. And I say this because I had two friends that were dating, and Spirit told me, I don't know how that happened, but okay. Spirit told me to tell them that they needed to break up. And I said, Spirit, I will do anything, but I cannot break up a home. Like, I mean, they were in a good place, what I thought was a good place. A month later, they both ended their relationship, basically hating each other. And I could have prevented that had I told them. Now, whether or not they listened to me or not, I don't know. But had I told them, they may not have been in a place where they started to hate each other. Right? So even if it hurts the other person, still listen to your intuition. So there were several cards that fell out. So I'm going to read from how they fell out. So the first card that came out is the Empress in reverse. So you're feeling like you can't really follow your intuition. It's a hesitancy. It's like, I don't know if I'm in the place where I can trust myself. However, I can't really show you the card. I have to cover it up. Well, let me see. If I have to cover her up anyway. But you have the Lover's card here. But what I'm getting is that you um because what I'm getting is that you're such a loving person that you hate to deliver bad news. You hate to destroy someone's circle, right? And then you may be one that loves, hey, I don't mind popping a bubble, right? I don't mind bursting someone's bubble. That's the saying, right? But only if it's in a way where it's going to really help them. That's kind of like the energy that I'm getting. And the three cards that came out after that, okay, I have to make sure I put them in order. The Kings of Swords in reverse. That decision making. Should I execute or not? Um, it's the energy of if I say this to this person, will it hurt them? And is it really me? It's almost like you question your intuition as if, is this me thinking this way, or is it what I'm truly picking up? That's what I'm getting. And then you have the Hermit, but it's upright. And what I'm getting is, you know what you know. That's what I just heard. You know what you know. You're picking up what you're picking up. And it's like, to confirm it, Spirit wants me to tell you, you see this star and then you see this light. It's like you're getting the correct messages from heaven. You're getting the correct messages from above. And then it's right here. And it's like, should I really listen to it? Spirit's like, yes, listen. And then it's like, but you have to be in the full energy. You have to continue to walk and not have the care. Don't care so deeply that it makes you question who you are authentically. Go along with it. Just go with the flow is what I'm hearing. If you go with the flow, you will see how your intuition will take you to many places. And then what fell out afterwards, it was a huge deck. So I'm going to see what comes, because the first card was the Chariot. It means that it comes to you quickly. Things come to you quickly. Um, and then you have the Ten of Cups here. So it's like there's a balance there. There is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse that's here. But I really don't think these are just cards that fell out. But the main card is this Chariot card. Things come to you quickly. And your spirit team is also saying that because you know what you know, because it's confirmed in the heavens, because it's confirmed with us, that's why it comes so quickly to you. And then when you don't rely on your intuition, that's why sometimes you feel like you're unproductive. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. That's why sometimes you feel stuck with certain things, because you're not following your intuition. It's almost like you're taking the long way around to get to the front door, and it's like everybody's saying like, well, why didn't you just cut through the grass, sweetie? And you're like, oh well, I thought that, if I cut through the grass, that someone would scold me. It's that type of energy, and it's like, no, follow your intuition. We would rather for you to cut through the grass than to walk all the way around. And then it's confirmed I got to yet again cover this card by the star. The star is here. Your dreams, your hopes, your intuitions, your prayers, everything will come. Everything that oh gosh. Okay, so what I heard was that the things that you work so hard for, you when you listen to your intuition, you don't even have to work hard for it. You will manifest them, which is why you got the star card. Because you could literally manifest new things. But without you listening to your intuition, it's like you miss certain steps, you miss doors, you miss opportunities. So that's why you have to make sure that you stay grounded, make sure that you um, that once you get grounded, that you kind of stay in alignment and really listen to what spirit is saying to you, really listen to what your internal you, your highest you is saying. It could be something so small like when you leave out your home, say if you usually go to the right, go to the left, or if you go to the left, go to the right, do something non-calculated, and you may not understand why you're doing that, but then once you do, you may get a sign. And sometimes spirit will test us, and there may not even be a sign, but spirit wants to see if we're listening, if we're being in tune, if we're listening to our intuition. And the more and more you listen to your intuition, no matter how small it is at first, it will grow to the point where it's almost like a radar. It's like you can instantly pick up stuff. It's just like, oh wait, hold on. And I would say when I don't know why I'm sharing this, but maybe you will understand. When I was a kid, I used to see stuff out the corner of my eyes, but I thought I'm like, I'm just seeing something, I'm just. And then as an adult and growing up and realizing I was seeing into the spiritual realm, I was seeing spirits come in and out, whether they were animals or people. I was seeing spirits the entire time. But because I didn't know what it was, and because I didn't follow my internal and my intuition, I just shrugged it off and didn't pay attention to what was happening around me. Yep. And that, let me see what's at the bottom. I guess, yeah, that was the bottom of the deck, the star card. So, yep. Reflections.
Right? Let us know. Did it hit?
Okay. Ooh,
We hope that gave you clarity. We see that you put
you are very welcome. You are very welcome.
that one definitely. Okay.
Okay.
That's what we like to we aim to
Right.
You like to hit it and hit. And we're so thankful that you were brave enough to come on again and share your question with the collective. So we hope that gave you clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for sharing. And we have came to
Thank you.
we love you being here.
Yes.
We do, and we love you. And I love when it brings the heart. I just feel like it's Valentine's Day or something. Like whenever it brings the heart, I just feel like we're sharing love.
Right.
I love it. So we love you being here. So thank you. Thank you so much. And we have reached the end of our episode. So we appreciate, love, and value everyone that was able to tap in on cards in conversations, where every episode unfolds a deck of intriguing discussions. You guys know I like to leave you with a quote or a little nugget. So peace and positivity is profitable. You can be profitable off of peace and positivity. You don't always have to go the maniacal route to make money, all right? And be purpose driven, not pleasure driven, okay? Now, with that being said, we're going to end the show, and we will see you next week, same time, same place. Cards and Conversations, 11/11.
11/11.
See you next time.
Yes.
11/11. Look.
Hey.
See you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.